You're okay? Oh, what?
You think you know the story? Think again. Weeks later, whispers emerge. Andy Byron? Shocking accusation? Involving nearly $250,000 and ties to one of the most notorious corners of the internet. Trust me, what comes next will blow your mind. But before we get there, let's rewind to the night it all began. The Jumbotron. It's supposed to make couples laugh, maybe blush, but when it lands on ex-Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and the company's chief people officer, Kristen Cabot, not his wife, the crowd's joyous hum fractures in an instant. The lens lingers. Andy gives a nervous grin. Kristen tries to smile, uneasy. Then comes the drop the mic moment. Frontman Chris Martin jokes, either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Somewhere between roars and giggles, that Jumbotron frame becomes a ticking time bomb. Within 60 seconds, a blurry video hits TikTok, then Twitter. Instagram stories ignite like fireworks. Memes multiply, remixes emerge. The clip goes global before you can catch your breath. What started as lighthearted fun morphs into corporate catastrophe in the blink of an eye. By dawn on July 17th, offices at Astronomer are abuzz. The company, valued around $1.5 billion and revered for its astro pipeline orchestration, now grapples with a scandal. That moment shouldn't have happened, one executive whispers. Within 72 hours, the fallout crashes ashore. Andy Byron resigns, citing personal reasons. In a statement that skirts the storm, Astronomer pledges, "Our leaders must set the standard." The interim solution? Pete DeJoy, the co-founder, steps in as interim CEO. Meanwhile, Kristen Cabot, the HR chief known inside as a champion of ethical workplace culture, also resigns. Reports surface. Both were put on leave, investigated internally, and finally let go in what the company deems necessary for upholding standards. In the span of a few days, Astronomer loses two executive cornerstones, its moral compass and visionary leader, both cloaked under a wave of suspicion. Here's where things take a turn no one saw coming. The kiss cam might have been bad optics, but now imagine a bomb going off behind the scenes. A few days after the incident, The Blast published a detailed expose. Andy Byron allegedly spent $250,000 on OnlyFans. Yes, $250,000, not on startup investments or philanthropic causes, but on exclusive subscriptions, personalized content, and intimate video calls. Let that sink in. As the story drops, the public revels in astonishment. Free Press Journal weighs in, citing messages allegedly leaked by Maureen Kerrigan, Byron's wife. The texts and screenshots show video calls, subscriptions, and custom content numbers that are jaw-dropping. One creator, Isabella Blair, also known online as Sophie Rain, reportedly received $40,000 alone for her sessions. The plot deepens. Supposed leaked messages suggest Byron used a Finsta, a secret, fake Instagram, to coordinate these encounters. He allegedly scheduled content drops, paid for calls, and managed arrangements through private DMs. Everything laid out, plain as day. Then comes another twist. Brazilian model Camille Araujo of the OnlyFans group Bop House tells The Blast, "We're talking $250,000 in sub fees, custom content, and video calls. Not just with Sophie, with multiple girls. This isn't a single late-night slip-up. This is a full-blown financial and emotional affair, a digital double life costing more than many Americans make in a year." Sophie Rain reportedly reached out to Maureen Kerrigan with empathy, saying she was available if Kerrigan needed a friend. Araujo invited Kerrigan to Miami, offering solidarity and space to recover. Amid the chaos, seemingly improbable human compassion emerges an ally in a painful public unraveling. The story explodes beyond fact. The public blending fascination with delight in another's misfortune turns the scandal into a meme factory and rumor mill. Within hours, social feeds are flooded with fake apologies and some quoting Coldplay lyrics, a mock press release claiming Arctic ban of side eyes at concerts, even hoax rumors that major tech conferences had blacklisted Byron. Fact-checkers raced to extinguish the flames. They labeled dozens of posts as fabricated, not from verified spokespersons. Ironic, but the rumors keep spreading, and the tangled emotional narrative invites embellishment. The scandal becomes a carnival sideshow that overshadows sober analysis. Some people present alternative storylines, tech alliances conspiring against Byron, possible foul play, alleged hush agreements. Others launch conspiracy theories that the kiss cam was staged. The only thing more infectious than the scandal itself is the gossip engine fueling it. Now we wade into the juridical abyss. Questions fly. Will infidelity cost him in divorce? Could he sue Coldplay for emotional distress? Experts weigh in. Legal analyst Richard Sullivan clarifies, in California, a no-fault divorce state, infidelity doesn't typically sway financial settlements. Unless Byron used marital funds to support the affair, like expensive gifts, trips, or content payments, the courts won't penalize him for cheating. But here's the million-dollar question. Does a $250,000 OnlyFans subscription spree count as content payments in the eyes of the court? Custody, too, becomes a question mark. But Sullivan is firm. A viral kiss cam lapse doesn't make someone an unfit parent. Family courts focus on child welfare, not public mishaps. But outside the courtroom, there's a different kind of legacy at stake. For Andy Byron's children, this scandal won't just be a chapter in their father's life, it will be a permanent digital footprint, a searchable shadow that follows their family name long after the headlines fade. Still, the narrative war rages. Infidelity, money, and media maelstrom all swirl. In Massachusetts, a community property state, the calculus differs drastically. If the couple were still married, the living theorem or Byron's spending occurred during their time there, Kerrigan could lay claim to half their assets. Suddenly, geography matters, and not in the metaphorical sense. As of mid-August 2025, Byron remains silent. No interviews, no press statements. His wife, Maren Kerrigan, has reportedly retreated to their estate in Kennebunk, Maine, away from the media glare. Will reconciliation or ruin follow? It's unclear, but the public appetite for updates is ravenous. Back at HQ, Astronomer is in damage control meltdown mode. With the exodus of its CEO and HR head, there's a leadership vacuum bigger than investors expected or wanted. Interim CEO Pete DeJoy hosts a virtual town hall. "We are committed to upholding values and trust," he says, voice steady. But the undercurrent is visible. Investor calls flooded with anxiety, recruitment pipelines drying up, senior talent reconsidering. The startup spotlight is no longer admired for innovation, but infamy. Recruiters report that prospective candidates, especially those looking for senior positions, are now hesitating. The question of who's running this company echoes louder than before. The brand risks becoming synonymous with scandal rather than success. Out on the internet, the scandal takeoffs turn wildly creative. Hashtag Coldplay Gate trends globally. Remix videos paint Byron as a tragic Shakespearean figure, the high-flying tech messiah undone by hubris and dark desires. TikTok commentary ranges from savage parody to philosophical reflection. Be careful what you don't let see the lights. Influencers create comparison videos. CEO epidemic. From powerful boardrooms to meme clout in 60 seconds. Parody confessionals start trending. "I spent $250K on OnlyFans and lost my job, but at least I'm not Byron." The scandal becomes a kaleidoscope of humor, critique, empathy, and moralizing. Then the pundits step in. Culture commentators take the scandal as a microcosm of digital age hypocrisy. A tech leader building data workflow efficiency on one side, indulging in secret digital consumption on the other. One viral essay reads, "He built pipelines, then he slipped into the pipeline of vice, and it blew up." Less than a month has passed since that kiss cam moment, and the dominoes keep falling. Will more leaks surface? Is there yet another figure involved? Another OnlyFans creator speaking out? Could there be a documentary, a tell-all memoir, a high-stakes hearing? Astronomer watchers speculate. Might the board install an independent ethics oversight committee? Could Pete DeJoy pursue a rebranding campaign? Will users or clients pull away? And on the personal front, Will Kerrigan seek a settlement? Will more private messages see daylight? Will Byron ever break his silence or fade into private obscurity? One thing is certain. In today's era of instant virality, one brief moment, a blurry frame, a joke, a scroll can obliterate carefully curated empires. The court of public opinion is both unforgiving and insatiable. And this story, it's far from over. Let's end with a slow pan out. It's August 2025. Headlines still flicker with $250K scandal, tech meltdown, kiss cam fallout. Astronomer's valuation dips. Coldplay moves on, the crowd forgets, but the digital world never forgets. We witnesses to it all should take note. How quickly one moment can spawn a canyon of consequences. How digital footprints, secret accounts, and private spending can become public weaponry. How society juggles sympathy, mockery, moral outrage, and justice in equal parts. Will truth come next? Will there be reconciliation or judgment? Titles will be written, TikToks made, lawyers consulted, and perhaps, somewhere down the line, a final reckoning. When it happens, you'll hear it here first. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this jaw-dropping saga? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is one of those stories where every opinion feels like a new clue. And if you've been glued to the screen like I have, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you're in the front row for the next chapter. Because if you think the scandal has already peaked, trust me, the twists we're hearing whispers about could make everything you've seen so far look like the opening act.